Dobrotro, good morning, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here this year and last year and the year before to welcome all of you to this conference. This one this year is particularly robustly attended because of the importance of this topic. You know, I had asked Petya, my colleague, to put together a couple of bullet points for me to talk about. And Petya, being Petya, gave me 3 pages of notes. And I said, no, nobody wants to hear me say all this. So I put it through ChatGPT, thinking, okay, shorten this. And it shortened it and maybe made it a little bit more creative. But I have to tell you, it took the soul out of it. There was no soul in it. And while useful and giving me a couple of good phrases, it's not human. And so I'm so intrigued by what you're doing today, talking about how it can be used ethically and appropriately, but the risks that go along with it. New York Times today was talking about it. So you are so on the curve here of what's important for journalism in the world and in Bulgaria. So the America for Bulgaria Foundation supports independent journalism. We've been doing this for 15 years, since the foundation began 15 years ago. We recognize the importance of journalism in a democracy. And this is why we support this. Our overall mission is private sector development and related democratic institutions. And to have a democracy, you need a strong press. So congratulations to all of you for being here today. As you know, we sponsor the WPI Fellows. We've been doing this for 10 years? 10 years. Delighted that you're here and can talk about your recent experience, but also to acknowledge Marina Tsetkova, who I believe is here, and Petya Mihayova, Ivan Georgiev, Rosen Setkov, Spaz Spazov, and of course, Milena, who you'll hear from today. This will be announced, the 11th competition will be announced in December. So if you're interested in a 9-week stay in the United States, meeting with World Press International Fellows from all over the world, watch our website, watch AEJ's website so that you can apply. I hope you'll take advantage of the opportunity to meet your colleagues from near and afar, and to take that opportunity to build your networks, because nothing defeats a network like a strong network. You've heard that before. On behalf of the America for Bulgaria Foundation and my colleagues, Petya, Radistina, Desislava, Christina, Lenko, I don't know, is Victor's son here? This is so important, and my colleagues will be remaining through the day, and I apologize that I cannot stay, which I wish I could. I'm actually going to meet with about 20 ambassadors, along with the Institute for Market Economics, which my Bulgarian friends are familiar with, to talk about what happened on Sunday and the week before Sunday with the elections, to understand better with Alpha Research as well. So I apologize, I wish I could stay. Thank you for being here. Thank you for doing what you do. What you do is so important. I want to go one line that I did get from ChatGPT, but I added to. I would like to express our sincere gratitude for your passion, for seeking out the truth, and your dedication to safeguarding our democracies, and that's plural. Thank you very much.
Just this a little bit. So next we have Irina Nedeva from the Association of European Journalists in Bulgaria.
Thank you very much. I would like, on behalf of AJ Bulgaria, to welcome you all in this extremely important conference that we are co-partnering with WPI and America for Bulgaria Foundation. Well, I will try my English because I see that not all of our international speakers and guests have their translation earphones. And I will just say that the topic is very important for journalism, because what we see is that actually artificial intelligence is doing better than natural intelligence, especially in time of disinformation. Actually, the natural intelligence seems increasingly captive to the spider net of misinformation, which is cleverly spun by mathematical algorithms that are, however, subordinated to the logic of market and profit. We see it very well here in Eastern Europe. The polarization of social networks from which platforms make money, but the authoritarian and dictatorship regimes and political movements actually win souls. Natural intelligence is weakening. Emotions, identifications by ethnicity, nation, or region, strong feelings such as fear or pride are overwhelming critical thinking and logic. It is hard for real journalism. It's also hard for fact-checkers, the new field without which journalism actually could never exist even before, but now every journalist also has the ability to use smart tools to spot information fraud. Can artificial intelligence help us? Certainly. I'm sure that at that very moment, in at least a few places around the world, the conference rooms like this are discussing the issue, the same issue, and someone keeps mentioning the fear of displacement or replacement of people and jobs by the AI. Humans are becoming too clumsy and slow to learn. Artificial intelligence is doing far better. Translators, TV presenters, voiceover readers, reporters. Are we close to the point where fact-checking, reading data sets, the analysis that every journalist is required to do, even when simply reporting one fact or another, will all be outsourced from human slow and fading intelligence to artificial intelligence? Whether AI will challenge the journalism or it is a useful tool in the hands of journalism is the question I hope to clarify for myself from this meeting today, and whether AI is able to deal with context. Not just fact and the piece of information, but the context behind. Because the more the horizon of smart tools is illuminated, the more contexts are dispersed. And here perhaps we should use an unusual plural for the word contexts. Good luck to all the inspiring speakers at the conference, and let's not forget tomorrow, because tomorrow we have equally inspiring workshops, and I would like also to thank to all the team of my colleagues of AJ, Ivan Radev, Cveti Hristova, the names all our international speakers know well, for the work together in order that conference to happen. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Irina. Well, now you get me. As I said before, I'm David McDonald. I'm the Executive Director of the World Press Institute. It's great to be here again for our third annual conference. And you know, as was pointed out, we couldn't do this without our partners, both in this endeavor and in a minute we'll talk a little bit more about the fellowship program, which is really the signature program of the World Press Institute, a fellowship for international journalists in America. But thanks particularly to the America for Bulgaria Foundation for funding this, to Nancy, to a lot of the people that have been involved in putting this conference together. Thank you to the Association of European Journalists, who have really been our people on the ground to put this all together. And I want to just recognize some of those individual people here that really put this conference together. From ABF, Petya, are you out there? Raise your hand. And I don't know, is Victor Asanoff here? And back there are ABF, America for Bulgaria Foundation organizers, and from AEG, Yvonne and Sveti. They're in year two. I guess all these people are in at least year 2 of these 3 years, and you helped out, I think, on the first one too. So thanks for doing that. The World Press Institute was founded in 1961, so it goes back quite a ways. I think we're almost at 60 years now. As I said, it's a US-based nonprofit educational organization, and our signature program is a fellowship in the United States for international journalists. We now have over 600 alumni from 100 different countries that have participated. We have one from Finland sitting in the front row there, and a lot of Bulgarians who have participated. But right now, the program lasts 9 weeks, and 10 journalists from different countries representing all the geographic areas of the world come to our home base, which is in Minnesota, which is, some of you may say, why Minnesota? Well, there's a long history of that, but I think we really like the fact that our program is in the heartland of America. You know, the Minneapolis-St. Paul metropolitan area is about 3.5 million, so it's a big city, but we spend the first couple weeks in Minnesota going to a lot of small towns, which I think is really important. But then the sort of fun, well, that's fun too, but the fun really begins as they travel across the U.S. to lots of the big major markets and media markets: New York, Washington, D.C., Miami, Austin, Texas, Chicago, Los Angeles, and San Francisco. So the journalists get 5 or 6 weeks on the road, traveling around the U.S. And you know, it's not just travel; it's not all fun. We really are trying to introduce international journalists to the media landscape there, both new and old. I mean, we go to the New York Times, we go to CNN, but we go to some of the newer models like the Texas Tribune, an online, very successful one in Austin, Texas, some of the new investigative reporting places like ProPublica and the Center for Investigative Reporting. So I think the journalists get a good view of the country. And one of the ways we do that is every year we pick 3 or 4 themes to kind of investigate and let the journalists be journalists. And so we will meet with newsmakers and others on those topics. Our next and upcoming program is going to be beginning in late August of 2024. And I think Nancy mentioned that our application period is opening now on December 1st. And hopefully you'll hear more or see more about that from the America for Bulgaria Foundation, which is sort of our sponsor. They've now sponsored 10 different journalists to participate, and they'll be sponsoring another one in this program in 2024. The last couple of years, we took a 1.5 years off for COVID, and we had a program during March to May, which the journalists, and Milena will say, it was interesting. A lot of snow. Minnesota's a cold place, but I think the program was good. But we've gone back now this year to our traditional time in the fall, and part of that is motivated by probably a pretty interesting U.S. presidential election in 2024. So this program will have that, I'm sure, as one of the themes. And basically, if you're selected, you'd be a journalist in the 2 months before we elect either the same president or a new president. So, but I think that's enough about the World Press Institute. If you have, if you have any questions or you're interested in applying, Petya here from ABF will be distributing some stuff. You can ask her some questions. But now I'd like to introduce our most recent WPI fellow from Bulgaria, who just came back from that cold March to May trip to the United States. And Milena Kirova from Bulgarian National TV had always had a smile on her face. You were like, I never had to ask you, are you having fun? Because you definitely seem to have fun and seem to enjoy that. But I asked her to just speak for a few minutes about the program, and also talk maybe just briefly about some of the AI stops, or one or two of the AI stops we had in the program, since this is what the conference is all about. So Milena?
Thank you so much. I'm really happy to be here. Добре дошли в Sofia. Welcome to Sofia. The World Press Institute Fellowship was so life-changing for me because it was an opportunity to stop every day running and working for a while and to speak about the present and about the future of journalism. It's the only one program where one day you can visit CNN, Fox News, the Wall Street Journal, Washington Post, and on the next day to go and to visit one jail in San Francisco where they publish a newspaper. It was a huge opportunity to have a friends for life, that's sure, because we are speaking almost every day, 5 months after our fellowship. Of course, during the fellowship, we spoke about artificial intelligence. We visit Stanford University, and we had some lectures there. And the professors from Stanford University told us that 15% of Twitter accounts are operated by bots. We are using social media for searching more information, for searching connections. So it's really dangerous when we hear something like this. And we asked the professors there about the future of our jobs, and they told us, don't worry, you will not lose your jobs because ChatGPT, for example, can't do investigations. In Bulgaria, we have examples too. A few months ago, there was videos with faces and with voices of our main TV presenters. They were used for advertising, drugs advertising, and this is really dangerous. Because, for example, someone can use artificial intelligence to create some message from Prime Minister or from the President, and he can say that he will start a war, for example. That's why I think that we need to talk about the opportunities, but we need to talk about the all dangerous things using artificial intelligence. So I can't wait to hear all the experts here. Thank you so much.
Thanks. Whoa. Guess I'm not. There we go, yeah. A little technical difficulty there, but thank you, Milena. And you also, we have a couple of our alumni, I think, moderating panels. Marina Tesakova is moderating a panel this morning from Nova TV, and Ivan Georgiev, I can't remember which Ivan I'm talking about, from BTV will be moderating. So there's a couple other, and there are other fellows who have participated in our program in the audience. So if you end up talking to them, ask about that. And if you're interested in applying, we encourage that.